This is an interview with Rose Krasinski, who is my grandmother on my mother's side, and the interview is taking place on 28th of December, 2008 at 8:30 in the morning at Grandma's house. We're in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Hi, Grandma.
Hi.
How are you this morning?
Well, I feel pretty good.
Good. Did you have a nice breakfast?
Yes, I did.
Good.
My daughter made it for me.
Very good. And Grandma, I'm just going to talk with you a little bit about your history, your family, and your life and experience here in America. I heard a long time ago that when you were little, when you were growing up, that your parents actually lived in a log cabin. Is that true?
2-room log cabin.
Uh-huh. And what was life like in the log cabin?
Well, I guess it was, when we were young, I guess it was okay at that time of the year, you know, when we came to Wisconsin. And it was okay. Mm-hmm. Because we were young, we didn't mind. We were glad that we had a bed to sleep in. There's 4 of us in one bed.
4 of you in a bed?
4 of us, because my mother had 8 children.
Uh-huh.
The boys slept in one bed, and we slept that's a 2-room log cabin.
Uh-huh. And 8 children, do you remember the names of all your brothers and sisters?
Oh, yeah.
And who was the oldest? Go from oldest to youngest.
Carl was the oldest. He just turned 94 years old, December 24th. Then I have my sister, Wanda. Mm-hmm. She passed away at 70. Mm-hmm. And then I have my sister, Anna. She just turned 90 in July. Mm-hmm. Then I have another brother, that's Tony, my brother Tony. He turned 92 mm-hmm. in September. Then it's,
we have Carl, Wanda, Anna, and Tony.
And Stephanie.
Yeah.
Stephanie passed away at 86.
Okay.
Anna and Wanda passed away at 70 from cancer. Mm-hmm. And then I have, then it's me.
You.
Rose. Okay. And then Helen. My sister, she's the youngest. Then I have another brother, Tony. Ted.
Ted.
Okay. Yeah, he's 84.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you were...
I'm in the middle.
You're in the middle.
See, it's Wanda. I forgot. Wanda's the first one. Wanda, Carl, Tony, Anna, Stephanie, Rose, mm-hmm. Ted, and then Helen.
Helen's the baby.
Helen's the baby. She's 81.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So tell us...
and we managed somehow in that log cabin house. I don't know how.
What was it like? Like, how did you cook your meals? How did you take your bath?
In a tub. Mm-hmm. And when it rained, we went outside to get our hair washed outside. From the roof. We'd put our heads this way and then it rained. Ma says, that's the best, your hair is so nice and soft. Uh-huh. And we had tubs. Uh-huh. Regular metal tubs. There was no tubs. There was no faucet. We had no inside water. We had a pump outside.
Uh-huh.
You had a pump to bring the water from the outside.
And was it warm? Was the log cabin warm?
Oh, yeah.
You had a fireplace, did you?
No, just a regular cooking stove only.
Uh-huh. What kind of stove was it?
It was like now these old-fashioned with a lot of burners on top. You got 4 burners, and then on the side it has a tub, a tank that it warms our water for our dishes. Okay. That's how big that's. These old-fashioned stoves, they had that.
Yeah.
In fact, one of my daughters have that in her house right now. Just, they're not using it. They just love that stove.
So all these years and they couldn't improve on it.
I know. No, but look at what they improved now. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I can't believe it, how we lived.
So,
but we made it. We were all happy. Yeah. We were all healthy. And Mother never took us to the doctors because we didn't have to go. I had a little trouble with my ears when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
I used to get earaches a lot, and she'd put a hot water bag on it, and it broke my eardrum.
Mm-hmm.
And once it breaks, you can't do nothing with it. You can't repair it. So I'm the only one that had a little problem. Otherwise, the rest are healthy. They all live to 90.
Very good.
Yeah.
So, Grandma, do you remember, what is your dad's exact name? What's your dad's name?
Tony.
And what's his last name?
Marcus. Marcis.
Tony Marcus.
Uh-huh.
And your mother?
My mother's name is Anna Vashka. That's I think it's on my birth certificate. Vashka. It was with an A-S. Yeah, she's got a lot of relatives.
Okay.
I don't know if it's in those pictures, the name.
And do you remember any of your aunts and uncles? Did you have a favorite auntie or a favorite uncle?
Yeah. Well, not really, because one of my mother's sisters came.
Mm-hmm.
I got a wedding picture, and one of her sisters came too. She stood up for her wedding. My mother was 18 when she got married. My dad was 22.
Mm-hmm.
That I know. She was supposed to come on that Titanic ship.
Titanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But her mother wouldn't let her go. She said, "You're too young. You got to wait till you're 18." And she wanted to go to America.
And what auntie was this? Do you remember?
My mother's sister.
And you don't know her name?
No, I don't know her name.
That's interesting.
Isn't that sad?
But that's interesting, though, about the
I should have had the names in the back of that wedding pictures, and I don't have.
That's okay.
See, years ago we didn't ask our mother many questions. Isn't that sad?
Yeah.
That we didn't ask our mothers about our background. My dad, I don't know very little about my father's background.
Do you know where he was born?
He was born in Poland.
Your dad was born in Poland,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't know where in Poland?
Near Czechoslovakia.
Near Czechoslovakia. Okay.
My dad was. He says on the side of the border. That's all. I heard him talking about that country a lot.
And what about your mother? Where was she born?
My mother born right in Wausau.
She was born in Wausau.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And her parents own a blacksmith and a grocery store.
In Poland.
Mm-hmm.
So her parents were from Poland.
Yeah, and then she's got a lot of relatives there. She's got a lot of nieces, nephews. Mm-hmm. My mother. So's my dad. You saw the pictures here.
Yeah.
A lot of aunts and little cousins there that got married. She sent Helen this picture. Said Helen brought them over here for me.
And do you know the names of any of your great-grandparents? Do you remember them?
No.
No? Okay.
See, way back they didn't talk too much about the we didn't.
Yeah. Well, let's just go to your grandparents, your grandma and grandpa.
Yeah.
On your father's side,
there's only one sister that I know is Mrs. Levda.
That's a sister of your father.
Sister of my father. They had 3 boys. They had Pete, Frank. They had Pete, Frank, and Ted.
Mm-hmm. And that was...
And they're all gone.
Mrs. Levda was your father's sister.
Mm-hmm. Mrs. Levda. Mm-hmm.
And what about on your father's side? Do you know your grandma and grandpa? They were in Poland then,
yeah? Yeah, they never came. Just my dad and my ma came from Poland, and her sister. And she didn't last long here. She stayed here, but my mother said that she got a inside goiter.
A goiter.
Inside goiter, and it choked her, and she passed away. My mother had one, but hers was out. Uh-huh. She had a great big one out here. And
what was her sister's name?
I don't know her sister.
You never met her?
No, I never met her.
Okay. So you never met your father's parents?
Because I wasn't born.
Yeah.
She stood up for my mom's wedding, and she died before that. That's all my mother told me. See this one in the picture here? That's my sister.
Yeah.
That I remember. And her uncles were there, too. Uncles. She had a couple uncles over here that built that house on a farm. Striku. His name was Striku. And he come from Poland. So some of my my mother's uncles came down here.
Okay.
From Poland.